don't know what we're doing here. Been a little bit of a while since I've been here. Lots of stuff been happening. People looking at trying to do a show, possibly with me. But why would they want me when they have these expert, just gripping radio talents like Mike Roma? I mean, come on. Did we not expect a little better than that? I mean, are you kidding me? I mean, I like Jim Campbell, but are you kidding me? And I'm wondering, who's running that station? Oh, that's right. How could you actually listen to that and think that that's good radio? I mean, I love Dan Rivers. I love him. Come on, take a stand aside. Let these loonballs sit on the air and talk you down with nothing, no facts, no information, no nothing, certainly no personality that would make somebody want to listen to it. You know, Mangino was playing a role on there, but at least he had some interesting debate. Whether I believed him or not, it was still interesting debate. Just to give you a little heads up of what we've been talking about, Mike Roma was actually playing Obama's speech and using that as his backup to tell us and tell the Tea Parties, didn't you hear him? How could you doubt him? That socialist, that Marxist, that... Didn't you hear what he said? As if that was enough. A politician's speech is what you're hanging your hat on. And a guy called up and said, hey, don't you know how to do radio? You talk, and I talk, and you talk. And he says, well, it's my radio show, and you're not going to tell me how to do it. So I called up a couple minutes later as Nostradamus and said, hey, Mike, if you're going to use the quotations of a politician as your fact-based foundation of what you're going to talk about, you probably won't have a show very long, or you shouldn't. And he hung up on me. I got countless calls after that, a lot of laughter, but I think it's kind of sad. And I wrote him a very long email and told him what I thought of it, how stupid I thought it was to actually hang up on somebody that people are actually waiting to hear. Whether you like me or whether you don't, you still want to hear it. Don't you? Don't you want to hear it? Don't you want to get mad? Don't you want to, yeah! So, I don't know where local radio is going. I really don't. I think it's pretty sad that I'll probably have to leave here to actually do what I'm supposed to be doing. And probably not going to be around here. Anyways, I don't know if anybody was keeping an eye anymore on the Oblahma Care, but I don't know. I guess you're supposed to, a couple companies will say Deere, John Deere, AT&T. Some other ones voiced their opinion, and they were quickly mauled on the White House blog by these czars and these creepy people that are keeping an eye on the internet. If you get an email that's a little fishy, which means are you talking about them? The paranoia runs so deep they want you to forward those emails to the czar, one of the many czars. But this doesn't matter. You should see the arguments I've been in on Facebook where they are still talking about 9/11 as the inside job. And we heard all the Bill Maher's and all the goofball, oh, the birth certificate, how loony is that? Well, other than looking for Sasquatch and the Loch Ness Monster, I think you better pay attention to the person that's in the White House right now and what's going on, rather than, I don't know, digging up whether or not you think that a bunch of people on the inside job of blowing up the buildings, and then everybody's sworn to silence and a muerta, and they don't say anything. I mean, come on. I don't know. Maybe there was some people on the inside helping the terrorists. I don't know. I'm not going to say I know for sure. But why don't we try focusing our paradigm on the guy that has left a trail that is unbelievable, that we can just pick up and follow for real and show this corruptness that's going on right now, that apparently doesn't matter to a lot of people. It doesn't matter. Here's the associations. So what? You know what? Just please forget about the stuff with like this, hate me, whatever. Just take a little bit of time to listen to the issues, the facts that are there, the associations, the clear, and then Ron Verb and his, you want to get rid of the police and the post office? You don't want government? I mean, you know that's not what people are talking about. Well, and I'm just so upset with you because you're smarter than that, and your background and are better than that. Just throw your hands in the air and go, "Hey, what are you supposed to do?" Taking over companies and watching to see what kind of raises they get, and taking over our banking industry and telling us, I mean, come on, that's not a post office or fireman or policeman. It's not even Medicaid or Medicare. That is sticking your nose in. You guys can't do anything right. And now you're going to run all of our institutions because you know best. You know what to do with the schools. You know what to do with the food. You know what to do with the drugs. You know what to do with everything. But it's weird. You really seemingly don't know what you're doing. I would ask that everybody that could possibly see this, enough of the big. Why don't you just do yourself a favor and just actually do some research and connect the lines, connect the dots, and ask yourself if this is the way you want to go. I knew for a fact that George Bush wasn't the way I wanted to go, but at least I knew he loved his country and would defend the country, loved the country, wasn't ashamed of it. You want to build a mosque in New York City? Go ahead, build a mosque. But why do we have to block the symbols of Christianity when you're up on the podium? Cover that cross, that'll offend people. Cover that up. Don't say that as a God. Don't sit and totally destroy the Christian values and the symbols that we have for Christmas, Easter, and so on, and then sit there and act like you give a daggone about freedom of religion because it's a mosque. Don't you get tired? Don't you get tired of this? Doesn't finally the love party that supposedly loves everybody, and the feminist groups that are supposed to be for women, but unless you're a liberal woman, you're not really a woman. The NAACP is there for the African American liberal. If he happens to be a conservative or Alan Keyes, you think the NAACP would do anything for them? So it's not really that, is it? There's always this, when you dig a little deeper into the liberalness, you really start uncovering what it really is. A love party that does nothing but hate. It's quite, I've been called, you wouldn't believe the names that I'm called, and it makes me want to smack somebody in the head. And it really does. All I want to do is interact and debate and do, I just want to I'm not saying I can't learn anything, and believe me, there have been some things that happened. I've changed my mind a little bit on things. But don't just sit there and start if you have an opinion, you're a racist or you're a hater. I hate that word. You're a hater, or you're just so mean and mean-spirited. But I watched boy. You know what? I watched demonstrations from liberals and from the Democratic type people that are latched onto them, and there's always violence and unbelievable crap that goes on that, of course, the media never plays. You have to go find it. And then I see the demonstrations where there's a sign. They have to go try to find something or make up something, like Tim Ryan saying that there were racial slurs. That's a lie. They just resort to lying. I mean, please, everybody, just stop. Just get up off your little paradigm that you have. And you don't want anybody to get in there and get an opinion in there that might ruin your paradigm. And just be honest with yourself. What am I really seeing here? What is this really? It appears to be this. It probably is. Please, I challenge you. This is important for the future of your kids and your grandkids. It's not funny anymore. It really isn't. It's lost its humor. I'll be back.